Welcome to Cooking with Rod. I got a great recipe for you today, so here we go. This classic all butter pie dough is the foundation for perfectly flaky, tender pies every time. In this video, I'll walk you through the process step by step using clear micro actions so you can confidently make pie crust from scratch. No guesswork, no shortcuts. You'll learn how to properly measure and prep ingredients, why cold butter is essential for flaky layers, how to hydrate the pie dough without overworking it, when to stop mixing for best texture, how to chill, roll, shape the pie dough correctly. This pie dough works beautifully for fruit pies, custard and cream pies, quiches, savory pies, holiday and everyday baking. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cold butter and chop it into cubes. Then we're going to measure out our ice water. Place the ice water and the butter cubes in the fridge to keep them cold. So in a large bowl, we're going to add in our flour and the salt and the sugar. And we're going to whisk that together until well combined. Then we're going to add our cold butter cubes, and using a pastry cutter, we're going to cut the butter into the flour until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs with pea-sized pieces of butter. Now we're going to drizzle about 6 tablespoons of our ice water. Gently mix that in with a fork. Then we're going to add more of the ice water, about 1 tablespoon at a time, just until the dough comes together. Then we're going to dump the dough out onto a floured surface and gently press it together. Do not knead. We're going to divide the dough into 2 parts. And we're going to create 2 discs. Press it together and flatten it slightly. And we're going to wrap that up in some plastic wrap. Place that in the fridge for at least 1 hour, or it stores for up to 3 days, or up to 3 months in the freezer. Okay, when you're ready to use it, if you froze it, take it out of the freezer and let it thaw in the fridge. Otherwise, unwrap it while it's still cold. Then we're going to use a rolling pin to roll that out. And we're going to roll that to about 1/8 of an inch thick. Then we're going to lie that in our baking dish. Gonna fit that in there the best we can and trim the edges. So now your pie crust is ready to use. Then you want to place your pie crust in the fridge for at least 1 hour. Well, there's 3 categories of pies. The first category is like a no-bake pie, like a cream pie. The second category would be a quickly baked pie, like a pumpkin pie or a quiche. And then the third would be a long bake pie, which is like a fruit pie or something like that. So there's 3 different methods. Here we go. If it's a long bake pie, you just use it as it is right now and bake according to the instructions in the recipe for the pie. Now, if it's a no-bake pie or a short bake pie, then we're going to want to pre-bake the crust. So the first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius. Then we're going to dock our pie shell with a fork, or what that means is poke little holes in the bottom so it doesn't bubble up. Then we're going to place a piece of parchment paper in the bottom of the pie shell and fill it up with baking weights Or if you don't have baking weights, you can use like dried beans or something like that. Okay, so then you're gonna bake that in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes until the edges look set. Then remove that from the oven and carefully lift out the parchment paper with the weights on it. So now if it's a short bake pie, like a pumpkin pie or something like that, you'll stop right here. But if it's a no bake pie, then continue on. So place it back in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes until the bottom looks dry. Well, as I said before, you can store that in the fridge for up to about 3 days, or you can wrap it in some plastic, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer for up to 3 months. Okay, I got a bunch of chef notes for you. Cold is non-negotiable. Cold butter and cold water create steam in the oven, which is what gives you the flaky layers. If the dough ever feels soft or greasy, stop and chill. Butter size matters. Pea-sized butter pieces are ideal. Too small equals a sandy crust. Too large equals leaky butter. Stop mixing early. The dough should look shaggy, not smooth, before chilling. Overworking develops gluten and makes the crust tough. Chill before and after shaping. Chill the dough discs before rolling, and chill the shaped crust again before baking to prevent shrinkage. Dock only when blind baking. Fork holes go in the base only, never the sides, and only for blind or par-baked crusts. Glass or metal pans work the best. They conduct heat more evenly than ceramic for crisp bottoms. Par-bake for custard pies. Pumpkin, pecan, and quiche fillings need a partially baked crust to avoid soggy bottoms. You don't want that. Fully baked for a no-bake filling. Cream pies, chocolate pies require a fully blind baked golden crust. Fix cracks easily. Patch the cracks with small scraps of dough and drops of water. Press gently. Do not smear. So there you have it. Buttery pie dough. Enjoy. Alright, thanks for watching Cooking with Rod. All the ingredient amounts and instructions on how to make this recipe will be down below in the description box. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, and share with your friends.